on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight's video is going to be a solo hot tent overnighter in this location. Now, I do have the truck with me. The reason being is this was a very unplanned trip. I had a few hours to basically plan and get out the door and just get outdoors. So it is quite late in the day. It's noon right now, so lunchtime. So I only have a few hours to basically get set up and get everything squared away before darkness settles in. So got the truck for transportation. I got it loaded full of gear. I'm going to start getting all that gear out, get set up, and start enjoying the outdoors. All right, guys, everything in camp is completely set up. I've got the tent set up, I got the wood stove set up, all of my cooking gear and sleeping gear completely ready. Very quickly too, I gotta say. So that means it's getting close to coffee time. So for coffee, I did bring my canister stove today. Got a little canister gas there. Got my stove and my igniter here. And the reason why I brought this is because I'm actually not going to be lighting the stove until way later on tonight. Right now it is minus 5 degrees Celsius. It is supposed to go down to minus 12 to about minus 15 degrees Celsius. So I want to save the wood stove for later on. The reason for that is because I'm not collecting any firewood for the inside stove. I brought compressed sawdust bricks, tiny little bricks meant for wood stoves. The last time I went truck camping, I brought them and it was such a time saver. It made everything easier to do and you guys really enjoyed it and you guys asked for more of it. So I brought those along with me again today, being a very short notice trip. I just threw everything in the truck and hit the road and came way out here on this logging road, found a nice location. So the stove will be used later on tonight. Today is going to be canister stove. And then I do have to cut a small bit of firewood for an outdoor fire because I'm going to be cooking dinner over the fire. So there is still going to be a bit of wood prep, but it's not going to be a whole lot because the inside stove is all taken care of. So let's get coffee made. Okay guys, coffee break is done, and I gotta say I do feel somewhat refreshed. It is now time to head off into the woods though and collect some firewood for the outdoor fire pit, which I've already started to clean out. This area is heavily used by many locals. I come here often with my children because of the accessibility with the truck. So that means I'm gonna have to hike a little ways into the woods to actually find some usable firewood. So I wanna get that done now because it is starting to get dark. I'm noticing the sunshine is starting to poke through the trees, which means that sun is starting to dip below the cloud line. So I need firewood in a hurry, and then it's gonna be supper time. All right, guys, I got the fire going and it is nice and warm right now. So what I did is I took all of the pieces of wood that I found that were wet, so all this snow-covered stuff, and I've arranged it around the fire so it'll dry out faster. Now, this fire is not for warmth, although it is nice and warm. I'm going to be getting warm in the tent later on, so this fire is purely for aesthetics and for cooking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two of these longer pieces and I'm going to prop them across the fire once it's burned down to coals, and I'm going to put my grill across those. So I do want to keep two of them kind of wet so they don't burn through, but that's the idea. Is I'm just going to prop some pieces, get the grill on top, and then I'm going to be cooking 2 burger patties on the fire. So that's what I want to do there, and I feel I got enough wood here. I got some really dry stuff, and I've got some more wet stuff. So all in all, I feel that this is probably going to be more than sufficient to get those burgers cooked, to warm my hands a little bit, and then enjoy a little bit of the crackling sounds of the fire and the smoke and whatnot, just to give that camp feel. And then later on this evening, it's going to be in the tent, get that stove going, and then dry out and get really nice and warm. So, like I said, I'm going to burn this down a little bit more, and then it's going to be time to get cooking. All right, guys, I got the burgers on the grill and it smells amazing. So those are actually cooking really fast. I'm probably gonna have to flip them quite early, I think. Maybe hold off a minute or so. So basically, I've got my cooking area all set up nice and neatly. I've cracked into a milk stout. This one is Deja Moo milk stout. Very good. Can't beat a stout on a winter day, or a porter. Very good. So everything here, like I said, is going well, really well. This fire I don't think is going to burn for very long though. This wood seems to be burning quite fast, even though it's wet. It's drying out quickly and then it's burning really fast. So I'm going to cook these burgers up as quickly as possible and then get them dressed and enjoy. All right, guys, supper is ready. This big burger, onions, cheese, mayo, hot sauce, you name it. It is on here. So let's dig in. Woo. My hot sauce is pretty hot. Get some more of it on there. Oh yeah. This is red chili hot sauce. Very good stuff. Really messy. All right, so I'm going to kick back, enjoy my supper, sipping on my stout here, and I'll bring you guys back as soon as I'm done. All right, guys, supper is all done and I am stuffed. That spicy burger was awesome. So, as you can see behind me, the campfire is still burning and I've got a little bit more wood to put on there. I am going to dry out my overalls and my boots a little bit over there, but ultimately later on tonight when I take my boots off, I'm just going to set them next to the wood stove and they'll dry out that way. So, I come over to the tent and I'm just getting these compressed blocks in here. And I know I had a lot of comments and viewers asking me what they are and where I got them from. So these are just bricks of sawdust. That's all it is. You can see they're quite messy. It's just loose sawdust. There's no binder. It's just compressed in there and it's just sawdust. So when you use these, you have to be careful not to get them wet. One drop of water on here will make it swell and that's not good. So what I'm doing is my wax canvas bag that holds my stove. I put it on the ground and I'm making a big stack of these bricks. So right now I've got 2, 4, 6 of them in there. I'm gonna get 4 more. I'm likely only going to need 6 tonight, but I want 4 more in there just in case I do roll over and wake up and I kind of want a little bit more fire, or if my boots aren't quite dry yet or my overalls are still wet, I'll load it full and I'll even unzip the door if it gets too hot and I want my clothing dry in the morning. So that's what I've got for those bricks, elevated off the ground just to keep them dry. Okay guys, I got the wood stove burning. It's going pretty good right now. Now I will mention that I did light it with birch bark and sticks instead of lighting it with the bricks, because you actually do have to have a fire burning in order to get these burning. And it actually looks like I need to add one in right now. So I'm just gonna pop one in here really quickly. So like I said, you have to have a fire base before you add the bricks. Once you have the fire base going, you can then add your brick. And I like to open the damper and the draft wide open when I put one in there, especially the first one. Let it catch and visualize that it caught. So look in through the glass and make sure it's actually burning healthy. And then you can make your adjustment on your damper. I usually like to go damp down in the back. And this is my Timberwolf stove. So this is, if you guys have that stove, this should work for you. What I like to do is damp it down 3/4 of the way on the damper, so almost all the way shut, and then damp down the front about halfway. And that should give a nice silent burn. So there shouldn't be any sound of like whomp, 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 or any hard breathing of the stove. It should just be completely silent and a little bit of crackling and popping. That's it. And it'll burn for a very, very long time with these bricks. So that first one in there, I'm not going in the tent now. I'm actually going to be outside gathering some photographs because now is the time to do it. So I'm going to let that burn, warm up the tent a little bit. And I'm going to leave the door open, of course. And then later on when I come back here, I'll get some more wood in the fire and then I'll get it cranking nice and hot. All right, guys, I'm back from getting all my photographs, and I think I got a few decent photos out of this area tonight. So if you guys are ever interested in photographs from the videos, head on over to my Instagram at Lone Wolf Wild Camping. The link is in the description to all of my videos. Excellent photos over there. So if you guys are kind of in a quick fix for camping but you can't watch the video, you can always check out the photos to see what I'm up to. So I've come back to the tent. I loaded another brick in the stove. It is going really good right now. It looks nice and warm in there. So it is starting to chill off quite a bit. It's at minus 10 degrees Celsius right now and still dropping. So I got to get these overalls dried out. I've got to get inside of the tent, get the door shut, and time for relax mode because I am tuckered out. I am very, very tired. So I'm going to be inside of the tent for the rest of the night, watching a couple movies I have saved on my phone, and I might listen to a bit of music, and then it's going to be bedtime, and I'll catch you guys first thing in the morning for coffee. Good morning, everybody. It is another beautiful morning out here in the woods, and I gotta say, the sound of that creek just in front of me, right behind the camera, I could hear that all night long, and it was amazing. Fell right to sleep, no problem. I loaded one of those bricks in the stove, got it nice and hot, damped it down, and then all I can hear was crackling fire and the running water in the creek. So that was really, really awesome. So I'm enjoying one cup of coffee right now. I am gonna make another one shortly, but I am also going to be making oatmeal in my pot. So I'm gonna get some water out of my kettle, get it in the pot, get that over the fire, get it boiling, add my oatmeal to it, and then enjoy another coffee. Okay guys, breakfast routine is all done. I had my 3 packs of apple cinnamon oatmeal, which is always good in the morning. The stove is starting to smoke a little bit, and just looking inside of the tent, I can see that it's almost burned out, which is perfect because it is now time to start getting things packed up. So I'm gonna finish up my coffee, probably got about 2 more sips left, and then I'm gonna try and pull the stove out and start getting some things out of the tent and get them packed back into the truck. All right guys, everything is packed back inside of the truck, and I gotta say, I had a really great time. Even though camp was literally right behind the truck, about 50 feet, I had to weigh my options this time, and it was get out and do an adventure or stay home and lose out on a perfect opportunity. And I took the opportunity. So I had a really great time out here. Food was excellent, the views were great. I had a nice time just kind of relaxing. Cooking over that fire pit was really fun also. And all in all, I had a really great time, and bringing the truck this time was actually a nice kind of way to change things up and kind of relax a little bit more with those fire bricks too. And on that note, I did burn all of them. I stayed up really late last night watching movies, probably till about 1:30 a.m. and I went through all of the bricks except for one. So that should give you guys an idea. Now I did have the tent cranked really hot, and I unzipped the front door and I just kept loading it in the stove, burning. So I had a really great time. It is now time for me to get out of here though. So if you guys have any questions or comments, as always, drop it down in the comment section and I'll be sure to get back to you guys, okay? So peace out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.